If you are considering a move to Saskatoon, take it from me. I actually grew up in BC, then moved here. Believe it or not, I love and hate Saskatoon for a few reasons. In this video, we'll dive into what makes Saskatoon unique, from its growing population and scenic river views to its vibrant neighborhoods and affordable housing. We'll also compare it to Vancouver, exploring differences in climate, lifestyle, and job opportunities. If you're curious about whether this prairie city could be your next home, send me an email. My info is in the description below. Saskatoon's population is around 347,000 people, which when you look at the city alone, it is larger than the majority of the cities in BC outside of maybe Vancouver and Lower Mainland area. However, of course, in BC, there are several other good-sized cities throughout Victoria, the Okanagan, the Kootenays, and Northern BC as well, whereas in Saskatchewan, the majority of our population is either in Saskatoon, Regina, or spread out all over the province of Saskatchewan in very small communities. The population growth rate in Saskatoon is around 1.5%, which makes it among some of the fastest growing cities in Canada. Of course, Saskatoon is centrally located in Saskatchewan along the Meewasin River Valley. It is a beautiful city and it is a central hub for commerce here in the province. In Saskatchewan, if you are willing to work, there is opportunity. In Saskatchewan, if you are willing to learn, there is even more opportunity. And in Saskatchewan, because of our affordability and the average income, you actually have some money left over for disposable income to travel or do whatever you want with your quality of life and your lifestyle. Vancouver, of course, is very crowded. BC in general is very attractive, but it's also very competitive when it comes to job opportunities. Vancouver and Victoria are coastal cities. Now, BC is a very big province, as is Saskatchewan. And of course, BC has the mountains and the Okanagan Valley and the ocean and all kinds of beautiful and wonderful recreational activities to enjoy in what I consider the most beautiful province in all of Canada. Granted, I did grow up there. Now, what I do find though is with most BCers, they either take for granted what they have all around them and never really enjoy it as a result of that, or they can't really afford to fully enjoy all of the beauty around them because of the cost of living is so dramatically high in British Columbia. In BC, you're close to the ocean, so you have access to beaches, coastal parks, and marine activities. You also have the mountains, the forests, and the picturesque coastline. In Saskatoon, yes, we do get a little bit more of a harsh winter here. However, we say in Saskatchewan it is a dry cold. Now, there is some truth to that. It is a deep freeze at the coldest weeks of the winter here, and the winter is most certainly longer. But back in BC, even though the temperature variations are not as dramatic, when it's cold and wet like it is in BC, it chills you right to the bones, whereas yes, here in Saskatchewan, it's a little bit windy, but for the most part, you can dress for a very cold, beautiful, bright winter day. The summers in Saskatchewan are wonderful. They are beautiful here. They are a little bit shorter than what they are in BC, which is one of the things that really bothers me now that I live here. But outside of that, you can make the best of what we have here in Saskatchewan. And because it's affordable to live here, you can actually have some disposable income left over if you want to go on a winter vacation to somewhere in the Caribbean or Mexico or otherwise. Matter of fact, my wife and I have traveled to almost 40 countries as a result of the affordable living here in Saskatoon. And I jokingly say that Saskatoon is a great place to travel from. Now in Saskatoon in the wintertime, of course, you can enjoy some recreational activities like ice skating. However, I believe you can enjoy ice skating anywhere in Canada during the winter months. We also have cross-country skiing, which we only have because we don't really have many opportunities for downhill skiing. But I will say this, I've actually enjoyed more snowboarding trips now that I've moved to Saskatchewan than I ever did when I lived in BC, because people complain and say, I don't want to go to the ski hill unless there's 2 feet of fresh powder. As I'd mentioned, people take it for granted. And likewise, when you can actually afford to take a trip with the family to go snowmobiling in the mountains because you live in Saskatchewan, you can still enjoy recreational activities all around you. I will say, of course, as you've mentioned, BC is beautiful, but in Saskatchewan, there are also some very beautiful golf courses here as well for the summertime in the city. And truth be told, all across the province of Saskatchewan, there are some really great golf courses. If you look at what you get for $550,000 in Saskatoon, you can actually buy a brand new construction home with a double attached garage, $550,000 right here in Saskatoon. If you look, I've seen in British Columbia, in some cases, $400,000 for a mobile home. I know right in Vancouver, I don't think you can really buy anything for $400,000 or $500,000. It's $600,000 for a bachelor apartment condo in Vancouver area. Wild. Also, the average 2-bedroom rental here in Saskatoon is around $1,100 a month, where in BC, it's closer to $3,000 per month. And I don't know what the quality difference would be from one unit to the next either. The average home price in Vancouver is easily $1.2 million, and I'm sure that takes into consideration condos, where in Saskatoon it's closer to $350,000. So home ownership is that much more attainable and achievable here in Saskatchewan, as well as if you look to invest in real estate here in Saskatchewan, you actually do have positive cash flow, not only just simply speculation as per what you see for investors in BC, unless of course you put down a big, large, heavy chunk of cash into investing in BC, which cuts out a large segment of the market for people who would love to invest in real estate. We have a ton of opportunity here in Saskatchewan. In Saskatoon, some of our major employers are the University of Saskatchewan, Potash Corp, and Cameco Corporation. In BC, of course, you've got the central tech hub for companies like Amazon, Microsoft, who have significant operations near Vancouver, and as well jobs in software, engineering, and in the film industry there in Vancouver. Vancouver is known as the Hollywood North. As I'd mentioned, here in Saskatoon, we have the U of S, which is a very prestigious school. We also have Saskatchewan Polytechnic, which is a really great trade school here in the province. And then, of course, in BC, you have UBC and SFU, which is Simon Fraser University. In BC, if you live right in Vancouver, you might be able to save yourself the cost of owning a vehicle. However, if you're commuting by SkyTrain or driving, it could easily take you an hour or more to get from one place to the next. Where in Saskatoon, yeah, the transit system is pretty much garbage. You can drive anywhere in Saskatoon in pretty well close to 15 minutes, and almost everybody drives because there is legitimate parking almost anywhere you go, and we can afford to own a vehicle here in Saskatoon. So yes, we do have a lower cost of living, a friendly, welcoming community, and a growing job market here in Saskatoon. But we also do have harsh winters, smaller city amenities as compared to Vancouver, and a possible culture shock if you're moving from BC due to the flat prairie landscape. But it's beautiful, it's sunny, and it does grow on you. Hope you found some value. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're thinking of a move to Saskatchewan, send me an email. My info's in the description below, and I will see you in this video next. Have a fantastic day.